Hey y'all, today we're on the South Yuba River. We're gonna try and find some gold and then see if we can refine it. I got my pan, my shovel, this sketchy homemade classifier I made last night at like 3 a.m. and my bucket of goodies. Let's see what we can find. Plenty of wildlife. There's a rattlesnake. Look at him going up in there. I am not sticking my hand anywhere near that rock. Found a nice little shady spot. And this spot right here in the gravels was underwater just a month ago when I was here at the river, so gonna take a few pans from here and see what we can get. Okay, gold panning time has turned into nature time. Look at this little spooter. She's got a bunch of babies on her back. That's crazy. Okay, now we're down to the black sands. Pretty hard to separate the gold from here. So what I'm gonna do is just actually leave it like this and just get a big bucket of concentrates of all the black sand and gold. There's a couple flakes you can see starting to appear. And then I'll run it through the mini sluice to clean it up and fully separate the black sand. Lots of fine gold up at the top. Oh, look at that guy. Whoa. That's a nice one. Let's see if I can get that focused. That's a pretty big flake. So I've made a pretty nice hole here. I've just been excavating around this rock, and it's had some pretty good pans so far. I've just been taking it out, putting in the new classifier, sifting into a bucket, and then panning it from there. And it's been working pretty well. I used this mini sluice a little bit, and that gave me some good gold too. So we'll do a final tally at the end. I think I did maybe 15 pans today. Always got to make sure your holes are filled in. Much better. Whew. Made it back up to the truck. Hell of a climb. I think I probably did around 15, maybe 12 pans worth. There's like 4 or 5 gallon buckets. And I think I got a pretty decent amount, so let's see how this will clean up. Nature Side Quest Part 3. What the heck is that? Got stuck in my headlight. It looks like a yellow praying mantis, but it has like a red wing. That's an alien for sure. Alrighty, so I got all my black sand concentrates with all the gold in it, set it in the pan and dried it in the sun. So now it's nice and bone dry. And we're going to take a magnet and remove all of the ironstone from it, all the magnetic stuff. Alrighty, so now we have our big chunk of magnets in a little Tupperware. Gonna put that down and pick up as much black sand as we can. Shake out any blonde sand and then transfer that over and remove the magnet and take out all of the black sand. Just repeat this until we have it all removed. Now we're just going to repeat that same step, but with this even more concentrated black sand to see what all was pulled over, because a little bit of gold might have been pulled over, trapped in between the black sands. So here's all the stuff that got picked up by the black sand and kind of got taken away with it that we would have missed out on. So there's probably at least a little bit of gold in there. We'll add that back to our main pot. Okay, well here on Nature Excursions Part 4, we have these floating pine needles that are attached to a spider web. It's probably about 20 feet long. This thing is just dangling. What in the world kind of spider made this? So now we're just going to pan all this out and see what we're left with. So that right there is what we're looking for. Nice little bit of gold. I'm just going to continue washing away all this black sand and get it cleaned up. So now I'm just going to scoop all of this tailings down to the bottom of my pan and suck it up with my snuffer bottle and put that in the larger tailings bucket to be processed later. Alrighty, so here it is all cleaned up. It's a pretty good take. There's a couple larger flakes in there, like that guy, if it'll focus on it. That guy I might almost classify as a picker, because I think if I try hard enough, I can pick him up. So that's a decent little flake right there. And then over here, I separated, we have some of these pieces are actually gold, but they've been covered in mercury from all the old timers that would separate the gold out with mercury. And so there's still a lot of these left in the creeks around Nevada County. So that's what those are. I'll just add those in with the rest. Just did the cleanup on the tailings pile. And this is what I have left. So just a very, very small amount, but not nothing. So I was probably catching about, I'd say 85 to 90% of gold in the first pass, and then there's just a little bit left over. But every little bit is worth it.